Inside your body are all kinds of building instructions, basic blueprints for what makes you, you. There are blueprints shared by most all living things, and also specific building instructions tied to ancestry and family that make a person unique. Understanding these instructions, what they build, how it, how they're passed on from person to person, is what genetics is all about. It starts with DNA, our basic building blocks, and genes, which are long segments of DNA. These segments are then packaged as chromosomes, which help to ensure that the building instructions are transferred evenly as cells divide and grow to become eyes, hair, feet, and eventually a person. Imagine a person's complete genetic code, known as a genome, as a city under construction. DNA is the basic building block, like the raw materials used to create each floor of each building. Genes are completed floors within the building, and each completed building is a chromosome. Together, all the buildings make a city, just like how all of the DNA in a person's chromosomes make up their genome. And just like most every building shares the same basic materials, every person shares more than 99% of the same basic DNA, too. Usually, during the building process, the blueprints are copied correctly, and everything comes together exactly as it should. But sometimes, there are errors. Errors at the gene level are often referred to as mutations and can result in genetic disorders such as cystic fibrosis or Tay-Sachs disease. Returning to our building comparison, a genetic disorder would be the equivalent of a blueprint missing lighting or plumbing, which means these errors would be found in any building using the same blueprint. Errors at the chromosomal level can result in extra or missing DNA and can cause conditions such as Down syndrome and DiGeorge syndrome. In our city, these errors would not usually be in a building's blueprint, but would happen during the building process. So in our example of buildings making a city, this could be a building missing a floor, or having an extra floor, or the city missing an entire building, or having extra buildings. The difference is important. Genetic mutations can be passed down from parent to child, and it's quite common to carry a genetic mutation but not have a condition it causes. This is because in many cases, both a child's parents must be carriers of a mutation for the child to be impacted by the disorder. But unlike genetic mutations, chromosomal abnormalities are typically not carried by a parent and passed down to a child. They are essentially random and can occur regardless of health or ancestry. A thing to remember is genetic disorders and chromosomal abnormalities have different causes and are identified in different ways. You can learn about genetic mutations you may carry or pass down before having a child through tests known as carrier screens. These tests can be performed before pregnancy or anytime during a pregnancy by analyzing one or both parents' blood or saliva for hundreds of possible mutations. With chromosomal abnormalities, you can only find out by testing after you're pregnant. A test that's becoming more common is a screening test called non-invasive prenatal testing, also called NIPT, which requires only a blood draw from mom. In most cases, both NIPT and carrier screening tests show that chromosomes and genes carry the correct instructions and pass on information both unique to you and common to all living things. And while our basic building blocks, our DNA, is nearly identical to other living things, we are made into unique people by how those building blocks are put together by our genes and chromosomes. For more information on genetics or carrier screening, visit our website, sequenome.com. At Sequenome Laboratories, we are dedicated to delivering the most advanced genetic testing solutions available to equip you with trusted insights as you plan a family.